This fall, I had the opportunity to go back to the Kresge Theater at my old college, accompanied by my alma mater's fine arts liaison. It was really a walk down memory lane. I got to go into the old Kresge Hall that had been since taken over by the music department, but when I went in there, like a flood of memories came rushing in. I remembered shows and classmates and tears and auditions and rehearsals. I sat there for a moment, and then the time had come to leave, and as we were about to leave, she went off and grabbed something that she had obviously brought into the theater with her, and she said, basically, Allison, would you like one of these? We had to rip up the old theater stage to make way for renovations, and so what we did was we chopped up that old theater stage, and we have saved those memorials for alumni and students and donors. And I said, of course, are you kidding me? Like, I walked those boards as a kid at school, and those very boards had stood or had been stood upon since 1913. So I was like, yes, sign me up. And she brought out this little memorial, and she started to kind of apologize and say, you know, I hope it doesn't bug you that it's marred. You know, that it's got a scar, or it's got a little mark, or a scuff, or a burn mark. And I didn't say much, but inside what was happening in me was, I thought, like, that's the perfect memorial for my entire life. And here's what I mean. I was always the kid that really wanted to be invisible for a lot of reasons. And so it's amazing to me that God in his economy would take a kid who wanted to disappear, who wanted to be invisible, and would put her on stage. And in some ways would use every weakness that she tried to hide as a magnet for his power and his glory. And so when she handed me the bit of stage that had this mark on it, I thought, that's me. And that's my God. You know, I think of Paul, who writes, I will boast all the more in my weakness, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Our world tells us this, you know what? You curate your strength. You hone your strength. You hold high your strength, and you bury your weakness for everything you're worth. But God's word says something really upside down. He says, no, that's not the way at all. You pull out your weakness. You pull out the weakest place that you've got, and you hold it up and you say, this is what I have, God. If you can make something of this, if you can bring your power and your glory to bear on this place, then you can have it. And Jesus says earlier to Paul, he says, look, my strength is actually made perfect in weakness. Not a little bit better, not a little bit stronger, but perfect. That word means complete and whole. And isn't that astounding? His strength is not made perfect in our strength. His strength is made perfect in our weakness. So when she handed me the piece of theater floor with weakness in it, with wounding in it, I thought, that's the perfect memorial for my entire life. That's the God I know.